But what is your thoughts on, since we're talking about different characters, were you ever a big fan of, because I don't know if I've ever heard you talk about Freddy Krueger.
I was just thinking I wanted to
fan of
bring that up.
Krueger?
I had, for the longest time, I feel like maybe I had seen him, but I owned the first one. I had seen it, and I was like, cool. Then I remember I saw the remake, which it didn't have the fun aspects, but I enjoyed seeing it in theaters. I saw that, but actually, I don't know, maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, I sat down and like watched them all. I fucking love them, especially like for practical effects and like, I like all of them.
Well, the first one's one of my favorite movies like of all time.
The first one's good. The second one, it's a very interesting franchise how they did it, because the second one was strange. It almost like doesn't count, but I really like some of the shots in it, and they what did they say? It was like I think the second one, it's like kind of known to be like an allegory to AIDS or something like that. Like, have you seen it in a while? It's like
I've seen 1 through 4.
They say something about like homosexuality, or like it's like a metaphor.
I've seen 1 through 4, and
that the guy's like Freddy Krueger's like
3 and 4. It's been so long since I've seen them. I don't remember much.
Is 3 Dream Warrior?
I think it might be.
Yeah, that one's kind of that one's fun.
Which
cool
is
thing
the
about
one,
the dreams is you can do fucking anything.
What's the
and it
that's
still feels kind of grounded in a weird way.
That's kind of where a lot of movies, I know when they do like time travel or multi-universes, where they can bend time, realities, all that stuff. With dreams, there's literally no rules, because you can just wake up and you're back in reality. And
really the only rule they have, I mean, they got kind of a couple.
Some of the things,
but if you die in your dream, you die in real life, and then if you wake up while holding him or something,
he comes to the
in.
real world.
Yeah.
What I love about that movie, and I remember because you're watching it. You see like a super young Johnny Depp. Mm-hmm. The beginning of the movie, there's not a whole lot going on. I mean, the opening scene, I think, I forget. Was there in the first one? Was there an opening
like
scene
where
he was
murder?
Where he was where Freddy was kind of in a dream, but then they immediately they wake up and they're in the world. But it's when that one chick is being chased by Freddy Krueger, and then she's being like almost like.
Dragged around
on wires.
Yeah.
I don't know how they did that.
I think it was a rotating room.
Was it? But how did they do it where she was floating? She was floating.
Right. I don't know how they did
but
that.
I know I think I've seen the rotating
room. A long time ago, I think I watched a documentary on it.
And then I remember the Johnny Depp where it gets sucked in,
in the bed,
and then I do know that was an upside down room,
and then they let it go,
and they just poured it in like a truckload of water.
Yeah,
that movie, when I saw it, I think I was 14 or 15. Dude, I was blown away by that. But all the effects, everything, and and even remember the long arms.
Yeah.
It was so creepy. But my favorite scene is the scene where she falls asleep. She's just like, and she's in class, and she looks around, and everyone is just like this. And the teacher, I think, is like reading from a book, and she's like, and and then she turns and
the body bag.
And then she walks out, and the body bag like sits up, and I think says something, and then back down, and then air is dragging the body, and then you just see this trail of blood.
Yeah.
That was my favorite thing
I've
ever seen.
So good.
And then you see the one girl who just like,
yeah, I need to rewatch the whole thing.
Because I think she bumps into the girl who actually is like Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
And then it randomly turns into like a Three Stooges movie for like 5 minutes at the end there.
Oh yeah. When they're running around the house.
Yeah, and then
he's like, oh!
And then they throw that
With the marshmallow steps or whatever.
It was like Home Alone, Three Stooges.
Yeah.
And then they end the movie, and then there's that last scene where you're just like, what?
When they pull the fucking
the mom,
like dummy. It's like an obviously like fake dummy that's just like. She gets in the Freddy car or whatever.
Yeah, and then the convertible top comes up.
I like all of those, and especially like the crazier they get, they just do more practical effects, and like even though it's not as scary, it's still fun. But a really cool one in that, and since I mentioned also Scream,
they're all fun. All horror movies.
Because Wes Craven, but the really interesting one was New Nightmare.
Oh, the new one?
No. It's the last one.
Oh, the last. Yeah, okay.
When they bring back the original cast, and like the first movie was actually a movie, and they're playing the actors.
See, I never saw.
Oh, you got to see that one because it's kind of like, meta. It was like kind of his first time dabbling in meta horror, because then he went on and made Scream, which is like the most meta horror movie ever. But in New Nightmare, they're filming a sequel to Nightmare on Elm Street. It's got like almost the entire original cast, and
minus Johnny Depp.
Minus Johnny Depp. But Robert Englund's playing Robert Englund, and everybody knows him for playing Freddy. And I forget how they explain it, but there is like a dream demon, and it's like offended. So like they all start getting attacked by not Freddy, but he looks like Freddy. Yeah. Kind of. But that was like a cool, usually like, the last 2 or 3 movies in a horror franchise.
Well, that's what
really sucks, but Wes Craven came back for that. And it's like, it's almost like its own, I mean, it is technically not part of the whole thing, but it's good. Like, it's a standalone in its own way. But you need to know the franchise.
What's so